What do you have to say to us today, sir?
Well, we're both very pleased. We're delighted to announce that there's going to be 2 seasons of AHL hockey, at least professional hockey in St. John's, and hopefully in the long term, here for a long, long time to come. We both worked, and the whole organization has worked extremely hard to get this extension and to keep hockey here beyond this year. And we've achieved it. We found out yesterday that this is going to happen. And so that's why we called you together today. We finalized the details into the evening last night. And hockey's back. So it's great for the city, it's great for the province, and it's great for downtown businesses, particularly, and of course, well, I guess most importantly for our fans and our corporate supporters.
Fundamentally, what was the reason that this extension was made possible? Take us behind the scenes here.
Well, I guess it's being dogged, I guess, and pursuing every possible opportunity between both Glenn and I, and Glenn through all these AHL connections. We've explored every possible opportunity, left the door open with Winnipeg. They're a great organization to work with, and we thought that door had closed and passed us by, and we kept in communication. And Glenn talked to Zinger, and he's talked to Chevy, and we've talked to Mark Chipman, and we've kept that door open. And we were aware that there was a possibility that come September, there might be an opportunity, and so we continued to pursue that. And meanwhile, of course, we pursued all other avenues. Glenn, I don't know if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when the word came down a year ago that we potentially had 1 year left, being around the American Hockey League for 23 years and knowing all the governors of the other teams, we explored, as Danny said, every possible opportunity. And there weren't a lot of opportunities out there. A lot of NHL teams had their affiliation agreements with their American Hockey League teams already set in stone. But we continued to look at all avenues possible, including, as Danny said, with Winnipeg, and we were fortunate enough to have an agreement with them that just became finalized the last day or so.
Any chance for an extension to the extension?
I doubt it. There's always a possibility. If you had to ask us 6 months ago, we would have thought it would have been over after the end of this year. So you never say never on something like that. And of course, they're a great organization to work with. So we'd obviously welcome them, for many, many years to come. Having said that, we're going to really, pursue other opportunities as well, because we want to make sure we can keep hockey here. So we're not going to, treat this as the end of it and just sit back for 2 years. We're going to do exactly what we've done for the last 12 months and work pretty hard to do it. But we're thrilled. We've got some time. We've got more time to look at other opportunities. And as Glenn can elaborate, the league is probably going to change over the next couple of years.
Well, 2 years in the American Hockey League is a very long time with regards to affiliations, and the whole landscape of the American Hockey League is potentially going to change in the next couple of years with with the West Coast Initiative, and where all that pans itself out remains to be seen. So Danny's right. To have an extra year for us gives us an opportunity to plan more, to speak to more teams about the possibility of keeping the American Hockey League here. And when I spoke to Dave Andrews this morning, he was ecstatic with the 1 year and said exactly the same thing. It gives us an opportunity to plan both as an organization here and with the American Hockey League. So I'm ecstatic with the news as well.
Big part of this too is we're going to need more support, continued support. The fans need to continue to support us. We need the corporations. We need new corporate support, because the fact that as an organization we're respected and we've got this winning streak going, this attendance streak, as of this year, late in this season, we will set a record in the AHL. For attendance, for sold-out games. So right now we've got to make sure that the rest of our tickets that are still pending now get sold over the course of the next week or so. To that very end, we're going to extend our season ticket opportunity for about, I guess, probably another 4 or 5 days, Glenn, so that people who still want to get season tickets can get them. There are still some available. And of course, then ultimately we will move to packages for sale. So we will need that support, and it's very, very important, I think, to the message to the league and to other possible franchises that we get that franchise record, that sellout record, and that carries on for another couple of years. It just makes our job easier.
So is this a situation where you're able to take advantage of delays in Thunder Bay, that things weren't happening there as quickly as they should have? Is this why this has come about?
Well, I'd love to say we were able to take advantage of it, but it was opportune for us. It just happened. It fell on our lap. Whatever was going on in Thunder Bay, we weren't privy to that, and we didn't probe or we didn't ask, but we just stood back and said if it comes and it happens, then it will. And of course, we were prepared to negotiate at any time. And it looks like, I don't know enough about the Thunder Bay situation to know where it's going, but I do know that, in the long term, I think Winnipeg will be looking, answer to your question, Winnipeg will be looking to, to move out west. But hopefully there will be other opportunities, as Glenn said, that will open up for us.
You would have eventually moved to spooling down. This means you're going to not be spooling down as quickly, maybe spooling up in some respects. What kind of difficulties does that mean for you?
Well, I don't think as much difficulties. Our season ticket base has been strong over the last number of years, and Even though there was only 1 year left on our agreement when we came out, our fans have come back in droves. Our corporate sponsorships are as high as they've ever been. We still remain the #1 team in the American Hockey League in a lot of areas. So obviously we got a little bit of work to do and trying to close the gap on some of the tickets from last year. But as Danny said, we're going to be coming out with an opportunity now for season ticket holders who had probably moved away to come on back if they so desire. Our 10 and 18 game packages are going to be coming out soon. Our single games are going to be coming out. So, hopefully when it's all said and done, the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll find ourselves exactly where we were the last 3 years.
Danny, any difficulties in terms of Mile 1 and getting the the dates that you need and all of that?
No, I don't think so. One thing we do have to go back now and negotiate an extension with Mile 1, of course, and with the city. And we're hoping they'll be cooperative, because we've certainly as an organisation stepped up here in a big way in order to make this happen. And as well, we're also, bringing quite a good professional package to the city over the course of the next month. We'll have the NHL exhibition game here. We'll have our own training camp. We're playing, of course, in Gander and in Grand Falls as well as St. John's. So, we're trying to put together, from the perspective of IceCaps, IceCaps entertainment, and as well as from the hockey side, total entertainment package for the people of the city and indeed the province. So, I think people will support us on that, and hopefully, of course, Mile 1 and the city will step up as well. We're quite optimistic that they will.